and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Honor Vlog. I'm Kay Williams, author of op-dec Operation Deceit, the Trilogia Trilogy, and Blue Honor, the U.S. Civil War drama that this blog is named for. This month, I'm talking to you about what I know to be true. So this was an open book blog hop, a blog hop that I have been a part of for a number of years. So the date here on the article is from 2016, and that was a 53rd entry. So it has been going on for quite some time. It's a fun blog. You can subscribe on my website. You go to authorkwilliams.com and there will be a little block on there that says subscribe to the mailing list. You just drop your email in there and confirm, and you'll get that blog hop sent to you weekly on Fridays. So you don't have to even think about it. It'll just come to your email address and you can keep up with the blog hop. A lot of the questions that are on there are related to the writing process, some of the things that we do, and also publishing. So we have a lot of tips from authors on there about how they handle their writing process, finding time, the things that they do, whether that's uniquely or similarly to other authors within their process, on the written page, what to do, what not to do as an author. So it's pretty useful to those who are looking to write and publish, and hopefully it is of some use to you. But this article in itself, what I know to be true, was actually really fun. I thought it was fun, little foray into how you look at truth. What is true? You know, some people, like I say, it's easy to say that what you know is true is truth, but like truth is not subjective. And there, you know, especially in recent times, since slightly before COVID, since 2016, somewhere around there, not 2016, about 2016, I would say, a lot of people, you know, like I have Colbert up here, that's what that poster is, truthiness. So he's been talking about that for a number of years, and that kind of falls in here. Truthiness is not truth. So what you believe is not necessarily the truth. So atheists will say that religious people believe in nonsense. And religious people will say atheists are full of crap. and they're the ones that have nonsense. How can they not see this? Using the word truth about beliefs is not a good exercise. And I'm saying that from a scientific background because I started out in science before I flipped to history and literature and film. And, you know, if it isn't measurable and provable, if it isn't facts, 100% facts, is not truth. And that is difficult because truth isn't subjective. However, what we think is truth may be coming from a subjective place. This gets very philosophical, right? And I talked about specifically when I was about, I would say 11 or 12 years old, and I was at home on summer vacation from school between, you know, summer vacation. And I was just laying there, and it was mid-afternoon, maybe late morning. I can't specifically remember, but I do remember laying there. I can see the VCR and the television. I had put on Alice in Wonderland. And as I was sitting there watching Alice in Wonderland, which is a very surreal trip into a fantasy dream world, right? Like another universe. Somehow my brain just tripped into, someday I'm going to be dead and gone. And I just like froze and had a little bit of an existential freak out. And I was quite young, I think, to be thinking, oh my God, someday I'm going to be gone. Like my body's just going to stop and I will be gone. And I'm thinking about that right now because it's been 2 years since my grandmother passed away, and I just lost her sister, my great aunt, her baby sister, I believe. My aunt was the little one. And gone. Here 1 minute, gone the next. It is a truth. And you're not going to stop it. And you can't question that. And that is straight facts. Provable. Testable. All the evidence in the world behind it. And it isn't based in a belief. It's based in actual events. And that is one truth that I am absolutely positive about. I will be gone someday. You don't know what that's going to look like. I won't be here to worry about it. But that is an absolute truth. It's like, everybody sits there and maybe somebody would say, well, it's as true as the sun will rise in the morning. It may. There's a lot of evidence that it should. It should. The probability is high. But again, one day, she's going to be gone and take out our planet with it. And it's just, that level of surety in something fascinating, right? So the only things that I know to be true are like endings. And yet, when something ends, something else begins. And it's a weird kind of fashion. It's like, whatever is on the other side, I can't begin to tell you. On the other side of death, whether that is nothing or something. Can't tell you. Nobody's ever been able to gain that evidence or bring it back. Some people insist upon their near-death experiences. And I love listening to those. I find them highly fascinating. And while I want that to be true, I cannot say with utmost certainty it is. I don't know. The brain is a fantastic machine. It can do all sorts of things we hardly even know. And there's another truth. We know that for sure. But yeah, as far as truth, I find it very difficult to pin it down into words, a solid definition, because people like to manipulate that and work with that so that they can hang on to their cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is such a pardon my language, but it is. As much as we would like something to be true, cognitive dissonance telling us that it is, and we absolutely must have it be true, or we're going to freak out. Another thing that I knew to be true was human cruelty. And the love of a human heart. I mean, these two opposites. Not that everyone is cruel, but everyone is capable of the deepest of cruelties. I mean, we see it all the time. And yet, other people are so capable of deep love. And that balance, it's like, there's a balance in the force. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So maybe that is a truth, that humanity is always interesting and will amaze you and will continue to do so. So that feels like a truth to me. That while we tend to be scared, very reactive, silly, stupid sometimes, loving, needful things, we will always be interesting. And hopefully, if there is any other life out there, they find us interesting and don't want to destroy us. And maybe that is another truth. And I'm thinking from the aspect of probability in the universe, that if we exist, there must be others. Laws of probability say it has to be true. Will we ever meet them? I don't know. I would love to. I would love that to happen. Hopefully they're cool. Hopefully it goes, like Star Trek, and we get to go out, and travel around with our Vulcan buddies and learn something more interesting, fantastic. That would be great. I know that humanity will always strive. Humanity will not be suppressed. See that time and again. Some kind of faction comes in and attempts to control humanity, and it is all. At some point there is rebellion. Always. We will fight against this. And whether it's the drive to be different, free to choose, whatever it is. I know a lot of people here in the United States where I live are deeply concerned about where things are going politically, and should we vacate? Should we stand up and rebel? At what point do we do these things? Especially when you have a family, regardless of the size, like I have one child. When do you act? You should be acting now. You should be voting in small elections in your local community to affect the change that you need to be put in place to combat these negative forces, whatever you want to call them. And, creating that future for your family that is beneficial to humanity and not, casting us backwards into fascist authoritarianism. That's not good for anybody, and it's just going to erupt into rebellion. People, it will be rough. Historically it is. It just is. I mean, change is rough. That's another truth. Change is hard. It's not like changing your socks. Sometimes that's rough. Like I have my Tigger socks on today, and that's going to be rough going to change those, but I've worn them all day and now they're dirty and I got to throw them in the laundry. I don't know what the machine's going to do. The machine could eat them and I may never wear them again. They are plush. They have Tigger on them. They are bright orange and striped, and change is hard. May they go well through the washing machine and dryer, right? But yeah, these are the things that I know to be true. And I know that we're all out here thinking about them from time to time. And if we're not, I don't know what we're doing. Maybe we're delightfully busy enough to not spend that time exploring philosophical ideas that terrify us at heart and and drag us down into like these doldrums. Like, I mean, exploring what you know to be true can often be depressing, you know, because like I said, it's thinking death is absolute certainty. Life isn't, but death is. And that's amazing. Oh, yeah. So why don't you leave me some comments? Tell me what you know to be true. It better be the truth. Don't be filling up my comment section with your beliefs. What do you know to be true? What is your belief today? Those things are not truths. You may want to think that they are, but if they're not holding water, yeah. And that's why you don't see anything that I've talked about here that gets into the esoteric, the occult, faith-based things, because while I have experienced things, it isn't quantifiable to the point where I feel secure in the evidence. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. They're like, oh no, that stuff is all horse hockey. And I can see why they feel that way, you know. And it's like, I mean, I totally understand where atheists are coming from. I very much do. It feels like a lot of horse hockey because you know, like, this is real. You know, and somebody might hold up, you know, their book and be like, but my book is real. It's like your book contains words that were written by people that may or may not be real. May or may not be truth. And just because they told you that it was, or someone said that these were the words from so-and-so, doesn't make it real or true. And that is the conundrum that we face. What is truth? It is an absolute. And it is measurable and quantifiable. So, you know, mathematics. And then in mathematics, the things that just don't end up being true. That's always fun. That at some point along the line of like an equation or whatever, it doesn't work out. And I'm just like going, it works for everything else but X. And you're like, I don't get how that can be off. It's so fascinating. So, but math is the language of the universe, right? Amazing. I highly encourage people to go down that path and just think about what is truth and how to measure things and to really examine that hard, because it matters. It matters because the more you think about those things, the less likely you are to be pushed around and manipulated and told what you're going to do. You're going to start questioning things. And that's good. That's okay. So, you know, certainty. Can we be certain of anything? We can be certain of death. I tell you that. It's coming to all of us, unfortunately. You know, may no one suffer. You know, I know that my grandmother did. She was in cancer treatment, and her heart gave out the morning that she passed, and she was in a lot of pain. Her sister was in surgery, so she was under anesthesia and did not come out, so she was not suffering. She had been sleeping a lot with heart issues, but not suffering. And I always hope and pray for everyone that they don't have to go through what my gran did, even though it's coming for all of us. So, another truth that I would like to believe, just to lift things back up, is that you will go and check out my books. authorkwilliams.com. Check them out, purchase them, support me, subscribe here. I will see you back here next month. Thanks for watching.